Hello, everybody. Welcome to another devotion by Golly Family Discipleship. I'm Pete, and this is Shauna.
Hey.
Today we continue 1 Corinthians chapter 9, and we're going to concentrate on verses 15 through 18. And Shauna's going to read verse 16 just to give us the gist of what's going on.
For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of. For necessity is laid upon me. Yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel.
You know, we've got two young boys, Jeremiah's 3 and Judah's 1. They'll be 4 and 2 here in a month or so. And one of the things that's hard to do is not to reward them for things they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right, Shauna? Because you get ready, you reward them for ordinary things and they never shoot for the extraordinary.
True.
You want to reward them for going above and beyond and doing exceptional things, and then they get rewarded for those things. And you think about that, and what Apostle Paul is saying here is that preaching the gospel to him was something that he was never seeking a reward for, because he said he did it because he was called to do it. And something that a lot of people will never understand is the weight that goes with a calling of a minister. That burden that's on you to have to preach the gospel or to have to minister in song or whatever form of ministry that you do, that weight that goes with that, you have an understanding that it's nothing of you, it's all of God.
Absolutely. Have you ever had that weight on you, that burden on you, that you have to get it done and you're just not pleased until it's done? That's what the Apostle Paul is talking about here. He's talking about having a goal, having a purpose, and fulfilling that purpose. It being like that fire shut up in your bones. It being that message you have to get out. It's that story you want to tell. It's the good news. And truly, that's what it is. It's like, when we first got pregnant with Jeremiah after struggling for so long, it was so difficult to keep it a secret from the people that we loved, who had shared in our pain, but had also shared in our story of faith, because they prayed and believed on what God had promised us. So it was very hard for us not to tell everybody the good news. But man, did we shout it from the rooftops when it was time, when God allowed us to do so. So that's what the Apostle Paul is talking about. He must preach the gospel. He must do it. That is his calling. That is his purpose. And he wants to please the Father.
Right, and you think about this whenever you think about those, if you're a member of a congregation or a flock of a minister, that they're not just up there doing it of their own accord. It's not a career path. Right, it's not a career path that you choose to be a pastor. That should be a calling. That should be something that God has placed upon your heart and ordained you for that time, for that moment, for that congregation, for that city or whatever it might be. But you are called and appointed to that. It's not something you choose to do. And we have to remember that. We have to remember the weight that goes with that.
Right.
And the burden that goes with that. And pray for those ministers and love those ministers and support them in their calling.
Right. If you're a girl, you watched a movie that has probably had something to do with a prince and the responsibilities that they have to govern a kingdom, and maybe they fall in love with someone they're not supposed to, and they have to choose between what they love and what their responsibility is, and a lot of times they choose love.
Well, it's kind of even played out in Britain right now with Harry and Meghan leaving the royal family to move to Canada, because they want some private time in their new marriage. So you think about that. They had to choose, right?
Yeah, they made a choice.
Yeah.
And when you're called to minister and there is a burden placed upon you, and it's not a burden that you despise, but it's one that you have to fulfill in order to find that joy and that peace even.
Right. I seen an article online today where Tim Tebow said he would much rather be known for saving babies than winning a Super Bowl. And he was talking about stopping the crisis of abortion in America. And it's a calling. It's something that God has placed upon his heart to fight against that we stop murdering babies in this nation. And it's something that's driving him right now.
Right.
And it's God-given.
Right, exactly. So just to understand that the Apostle Paul is coming forward and talking about how he must preach the gospel. So if there's a call on your life, we pray for you. We hope that
don't run from it. Don't hide from it.
Yeah, we hope that you make that right choice and pick up that mantle that God has given you. But that'll be it for today. We'll continue chapter 9 tomorrow. Remember to read chapter 9 every day. Discuss it with those around you. And remember that we are going to live intentionally for Christ, getting up every day, encountering God, exalting God, edifying yourself, and engaging the world. Remember to follow us on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube,
Yep.
so that you can get the daily devotions.
Until next time.
God bless you.